Hello everybody, in this video I'm going to share some tips for those of you starting with the Druid. The Druid gave me the hardest time. I have to be honest with you, when I played Tier 2 with him, I died a lot. It sounds crazy, I know, but because I was choosing the wrong skills at the beginning. The thing is with the Druid that is very resource hungry. You have your spirit resource, and his abilities, his strong abilities, really take a big chunk of the spirit pool, but that means close to like something like a fourth for each time you activate it. So basically I'm finding myself kind of trying runaway just to get a more resource and more resource, you know, until I be able to react. It was terrible, and I always needed to do in close range as well. Anyway, it was terrible, and I suffered playing him. Aside from that I didn't find him interesting in general, still I wanted to find out a good build that at least will help me kind of do well in the beginning. And if I'm going to play it at some point when the game is out, at least I want to know that, you know, that as a, you know, kind of a basic build that I can trust to deliver good results, basically. So the idea is first to maintain some powerful skills that I can trust, that actually fits, by the way, what you see here. Lots of enemies coming rushing at you. Being able to quickly generate your primary resource, in this case spirit, and also be good against bosses as well. I'm not talking about even world bosses now. I haven't taken him to the world boss yet, because really I was just, to be honest, just got bored with them. Hopefully, by the way, this one will be addressed by Blizzard, and they can buff him up. He definitely needs it. I mean, this is very sluggish, heavy. It feels really, compared to the others, unresponsive, terrible, honestly terrible, and definitely needs a buff. And they mentioned talking about the Barbarian needs you know, some attention, but I think the Druid needs much more than the Barbarian, to be honest. Now pay attention now how much resource actually it costs me to use my ability. Look at that, you see? Something like 5th, even close to 4th. Look at that, it's just a big chunk. It's good damage, but a big chunk. All right, so what are we going to do with that? All right, so the thing is that first I went with this because this was unlocked first, and I actually invested in Maul. But it was a big mistake. First of all, this is melee. The other one, this one, is range as well. All right, and if you can see here, I also put Wind Shear as 20 chance to make enemies vulnerable, so you increase the damage. And this one is the most important one. Wind Shear grants 3 additional spirit for each enemy hit beyond the first. This is essential because we're going to consume tons of spirit. I was shocked, by the way, how much spirits his ability costs. This is definitely should be addressed by Blizzard, but this is just crazy. This just makes this one, for example, really not good at the beginning. So this one is great, both range and also you can hit several enemies, and this is the most important thing, you get more spirits, right? Other than that, I went with, by the way, both of them are very strong. Stomp, of course, is very strong when you are surrounded with enemies. It's very powerful. Really, this is like, and the thing is that it's accurate. Unlike these two, we can use, and if you're not guaranteed to hit an enemy, with this one, you're guaranteed. I mean, if there are enemies around you, you're gonna get hit in a radius, and it's very powerful. All right, this one is very powerful if you're able to hit the enemy. I know it says, you know, 35% damage, but each time it actually ticks on the enemy, it's going to deal that damage. So it becomes really huge, the tornado. So this one is very good if you want to take it. The problem is if you're in melee range, you can see that just pass through, and the enemy going to hit once and then it's gone. It's just going to circulate randomly somewhere. And also, you're not guaranteed to hit an enemy, so sometimes it's hit and miss situation. This one, Lightning Storm, is very strong as well. I found out that they are more likely to hit, especially when I'm surrounded with enemies. I need the extra for both enemies close to me and enemies around me. It served me well. That's why I actually invested in it. This increased the Lightning Storm, preserved for 4 seconds after channeling, and Lightning Storm has 8 chance to immobilize the enemy hit for 3 seconds. All right. Again, this is the most important one. This one, remember, because you're gonna find out that it's just unbelievably awful when you just consume so much spirits. Other than that, I use also, you can use, by the way, the different ones. I think all of them are pretty good, but I use this one for protection. Guarantee barrier that absorbs 45% of your base life in damage. All right, so I use this one for protection. This one is for tanking enemies. The damage when you're actually not using the active one is terrible, and even the active one is terrible. I mean, I use them just for tanking, really, to be honest. Of course, you can use them for more, but again, at the beginning, where you see I'm level 17, I didn't have a lot. All right, so basically, I chose that because it's especially by the way, when I'm dealing with bosses, when lots of enemies, it can tank them, and that's fun. This gives me more time, buys me more time to actually use my ability to charge and then go in once my spirits is actually close to be full. All right, so this is the early build that I use. So if you are struggling, this can really help you out. And to be honest, I find it kind of cool where I needed to really find a build to actually work well with other classes. It was just literally treat you a walk in the park. It's just crazy the difference between the classes compared to the by the way, both the barbarian, but this one by far, the druid. I was just rushing through, eliminating everything. Whether with the druid, it was like I'm struggling. And really, this is a huge difference compared to the sorcerer, compared to the necromancer, and of course compared to the rogue. They were all easy mode. Druid was much less than that. And to be honest, they need to make him, I don't know, maybe change how much so you consume, maybe less. Anyway, they need to balance it in a way that it's both feel fun, more responsive than it is now. Yeah, it's not just it leads to really gameplay is just not fun. That's why probably I didn't enjoy it. It felt really, really, I don't know, in quotations, heavy. So yeah, so this is just something, if you're struggling, this can help you out. Again, remember the ability to really generate the spirit resource fast, and good abilities that can be good against enemies, some defense, so you can finish, at least, do well. If you are jumping into tier 2 or want to do well, this can help you out much better than the other options that, I tried different ones and they were just pretty off. So this is it for this video. Give a like if you found this one useful. And yeah, if I want to try it out, probably going to use this path. Otherwise, if something changes and they balance it differently, we'll see. Thanks for watching, everybody. See you on the next video. Cheers.